Hi, it's Jez from Nigezza Creates. Thank you for joining me today. So I've got loads of partly done projects, but this is something I've wanted to do for months and months and months. Back before Ed got really poorly. So I bought this book. I bought this doily, both in the same shopping from the same shop, and I really liked this cover. And I thought, oh, that would make a really nice journal. The spine bit's coming off, and I may well use this section of the spine for something else, like a bookmark or something to go in the journal. I'm just going to gut the book. I mean, there's some really, I don't know the date of it. It hasn't got a date on it, but I imagine this is a good 100 years or more old. I've looked it up, I've searched it, I can't find it. But through it we've got these sort of nice illustrations, and they're plain on the back, so I thought, oh, they'd be quite nice little bits, journaling cards to chuck in. And I bought this doily in the same shopping trip, and I thought, well, there's slight pink tinge to this cover, so I thought, oh, that would be nice, put over it. And then I thought I might get a nice cabinet card to put on the front, to sort of decorate it up. And what I want to do is to make this journal where it's just using genuine ephemera. I've got loads of it, I want to use it, so that is what I want to do. And I did think about finishing off projects that I'd started. I did a couple, I think, before Christmas, and then I just went, I actually want to do this more than finish off a project you know, that I started a while back. So yeah, I just thought that you know, do what you want, Jess. That's what I decided. I am all about doing things that make me happier, really. So much sadness in my life, so I'm doing things to sort of cheer me up, make me feel a little bit better. And yeah, so why, you know, why put off something that I really want to do you know, any longer? So yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I want to get this. Oh, there, where's my craft knife? There it is. Oh, didn't get that ready. So I'm gonna try and be a bit careful here. You see, it's falling apart. I know there'll probably be people going, oh my goodness, that book's probably from 1800 and something. And there you are. You're just gonna take it apart, aren't you? I certainly am. For me, I've got loads of books. I mean, I imagine if you ain't got many, then, you know, you're gonna hoard. But there, that just pulled nicely. But I've got loads. So right, it is falling apart, so that came off nicely. So if I'm gonna take this spine out, so I'm actually gonna have to make a new spine if I want to use that bit of the spine for something else. I did think that this might come off with it, and it hasn't. So there, I've got this massive lovely book block. I want these sections here sort of to be like nice vintage bit of tissue there. You know, I thought that would be a nice little journaling card as it is. So there's quite a few of these dotted through. So just a matter of finding them. So I think I might just go and sort of harvest that. Yeah. So, and because the book block's off, it'll be quite easy to pull these apart. Well, that's coming out quite nicely there. There. So there's another one. There we go. I think it said on the front of the book that it was illustrated, so I kind of thought, oh, great. But I don't think there's going to be that many throughout. That's another one. They're pulling out really nice and easy. And then I've got lots of lovely pages that I can use for other things. I might take some to the next retreat. I'm going to the Rachel and Bella Crafts retreat in June, which at the moment seems like a long way away. But it'll be here soon, Jez. Blink and it'll be here. And, you know, all last year, I wasn't wishing any time away at all. Time was precious, very, very precious. And, oh gosh, creeps up, doesn't it? But I'm kind of wishing time off, time to hurry up to the point where I don't feel so much pain. That's where I am at the moment. So yeah, so I might take some bits and bobs to share with people. I know some people are not so lucky as me in their finding of books like this. Just sitting there in your local charity shop for less than £2. And like, rip that, but I don't care. Got loads. I'm putting my head back whilst I flick that because I can feel a bit of dust in it, and I am allergic to dust, which, you know, not the best thing for not the best thing for a junk journaler, to be allergic to dust and damp and stuff. But there we go. Right, let's this one's proper hard to get out. Oh, there we go. Ed used to call me like a book murderer, book destroyer. Some things I'd buy and he'd be like, please, you can't cut that up. Watch me. There, so that's took them out. More or less the book block is pretty well still intact. So I've got these that I can use. Some of them are yeah, quite weird illustrations there. But they're obviously some of the poems. There's like lines from the poems there. But, yeah, didn't even count how many there were, Jess, which is what I meant to do. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 of them. That'd be nice to have. Got a bit of tissue. Probably use that for something. And then we've got our book block that we'll use. So we'll stick you down there out of the way. So we're left here with this. We're going to take that off. Nice little bit of paper there. Take you off as well. So I am gonna take this off. so that I'm going to end up it's not salvageable, so I may as well take it off. And I love a good book spine. A sentence never really imagined me saying. There we go. It's quite cool. So I will do something with that to put in the journal. So yeah, rather than connect it to the spine. So we've got this. So let's tidy this up. There's maybe longer pair of scissors. Let's just come in here. Take that off there. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so if you want to grab a book, it doesn't have to be an old one, and do something similar with me, then, you know, do that. It will be good to have you along. So we got that, and what I might do is just tidy the end up a bit. Like so. Oh, that wants to come off as well. Didn't even notice that was there. There we go. So that's that cover done. I'll clean up all this gubbins when I've got everything off. This side seems to be much easier at getting off. There we are. I have found myself recently buying books simply because I like the cover. You know, when people say I don't know how you can cut that up, well, because this is the purpose I bought it for. So there we go. So that's my 2 book covers. Let's just move them out of the way. And get all this stuff swept up. And away we go. There we go. My mat's so dirty. So that had like a 2-inch spine, and I quite liked it as a 2-inch spine, so I think I might keep it as a 2-inch spine. So I need to get some bookboard that I can use for the spine, and to attach it, and I will yeah, that's what I'm doing, Jez. It is, I know. So I need to get the book board. Okay, I found some book board. I've got a whole box with chipboard and, you know, stuff like this. I mean, I don't buy boards for it. It's all just sort of recycled stuff. Now that is slightly thinner than this book board. Doubling it up will probably be too thick, but anyway, we'll see. So how long does it need to be? It looks like it needs to be 7.5. Just over. Oh no, maybe, yeah, just over 7.5, and I'm going to do it 2 inches wide. So I am going to pop that there. Problem is, I'm going to have to turn my map. So put that on the edge there. Stick that there. That there, and that there. Like that. There we go. So that's like that. So now I'll come back this way. So I'll put that on the edge there. That one, I'm going to turn it around because that one's a bit dog-eared. That is where it needs to be. I am the wrong way round, but we're going for it. There. So that is a bit of chipboard for the spine. And actually, I think if I double it, it will be right. So I might just cut another. So that is, it is slightly proud. Ever so slightly proud. So, although I've done it like that, I may actually do a slightly thinner piece of card, maybe a cereal box instead. Yeah, leave that as a template, but that is the spine made. So then I'm going to think about attaching. Now I think I might cover the spine with, swap it, with something that makes it look quite nice. I could cover it with cardstock actually, maybe a couple of layers of cardstock would make it look quite nice. I could probably find a similar colour, and then I might emboss it to give it a little bit of an effect. I mean, it's going to get covered with the doily, but even so, if I try and sort of match it as much as possible, that would be quite nice. And because of the fact that the doily is going to get covered with the attaching on this outside, I'm not so bothered with what that might look like. A bit of black tape mightn't be too bad. I have this construction tape that I often use. That might work. It'll certainly work on the inside because I'm going to cover the inside anyway. So yeah, I think I might use this stuff. That gives it a nice strong adherence. So I need to go and search, see if I've got a bit of cardstock, and then I might distress it a little bit to make it look like that. So I've got this colour. I mean, it's not exactly what I'm looking for, but I think with a little bit of stressing on it, we might get there. So I'm thinking I might just cut a bit, cut it to size, and then we'll see what we get. That's my thoughts. So I'm thinking I might actually use an embossing folder, do some inking. Let's just use my trimmer on that. Let's that should be about 2 inches, which is about there. Cut that one up as well. So got one for each side of it. There we go. Right, I want, so let's chuck that little bit of card there, Jess. You don't really need that. So I'm gonna look for an embossing folder. Okay, very long time since I've used my embossing machine, I can tell you. So there we go. That's a really deep emboss. Really deep emboss. That was from a charity shop haul. You may or may not remember seeing that. So we've got that. So yeah, so now I want this to look a bit darker. It is far too clean looking there. I might try and just do a little bit of sanding on that top bit to sort of scuff it up a little bit. I was kind of sort of trying to, because it's got these sort of elements there, that is what I'm kind of trying to do. There's that. Right, now I want to thinking, shall I rub a bit of Distress Oxide over it? Right, I want a bit of black in it. I've got this. It's quite cool. And I want to get into that cleaner looking bit there. So I'm gonna go with Scorched Timber and see if I can get in the background a bit. Let's try a littler one, a littler brush. There. So we can get it looking a bit dirty, a little dirty and old. So we've got that. So that's all looking a little bit more how I'm wanting it to look. I'd quite like a little bit of goldness on it. So let me have a little look see at what I've got. So I've got my bit of gold there. So let's chuck a bit of gold on it. Bearing in mind a lot of this is going to get covered up. So most of what I'm going to see is just top and bottom. But hey ho, it's fun to do. So there we go. So this is gilding wax. I often find there that goes on in blobs when I do it. So trying to be a little bit more subtle with it. It would help, Jez, if you actually had gloves that fitted you better. And I do actually, Jez. I bought gloves when Ed was poorly. Not wishing to go into too many details, but I did need gloves a few times. There we go. Yeah. So I'm thinking that's pretty cool. I likes it. I might leave it at that. So I'm thinking, oh, it's a bit dangerous, that I'm going to attach this bit and then stick that on top of it. So if I'm going to use the tape, I want it to go underneath this bit. That is my thoughts. I would like it a little bit blacker than what it currently is. I might grab a bit of black soot and stick some of that on it. Let's see if I can go over it with that. And then I might, let's see if I can buff up this gilding wax a bit more. So that, looking a bit better. Much better, much how I'm envisioning I want it. I will want to properly grunge the edges up, most def. Yeah. Yeah, that's it now. That is now, I think, the right colour. Yep, happy with that. Right, so put that to one side. What I need to now do is decide if that's going to be on there like that. And that's going to be on there like that. And we're going to stick that on the inside. Have I created enough extra thickness? I think I probably have. I do think I probably have, but I think I probably want this now to be coloured. I don't want it to, I don't need to emboss it, but I do think I just need to darken it a little bit. So stick a bit of this on. I might give it a little bit of a little bit of spray, a little bit of heat, then dry that off. And then I just go around the edges, I think, in the black. And that'll be okay in the middle there, I think, because I'll probably cover this anyway with something, but that'll just be the bit that's poking through on the back. So I am going to do the taping. It's a while since I've done this. Yeah, right. Know what I'm doing now. So let's get me tape. I'm gonna find the end. So this is about 1 inch wide. I've put that in the middle of 1 inch, so I can go 1 inch there. And then with the white ray on there. There we go. So that's that. And then we're gonna line it up together there. So the top is level in that, and then we're just gonna roll it round like so. So it's going along there, and we've got a little bit on the edge there, and then when we open it up, we do have a gap. So that's like formed a natural gap in the middle there by doing it that way. And then you can just fold over these ends to form a neat top, and then you just take your bone folder and do that. So that's the first half of the spine there, and we can give it a good burnish down. You can get bookbinding tape, cloth tape. This is from My Creative Spirit. She calls it construction tape. that. So let's do it again. So I'm lining it up there on my mat. Take a bit of tape. I'm going to go to the inch. Nice thing about it is it rips. Right, let's just pull that up a tad. Do you know, I've just thought of something. Oh no, done now. Just thought I might move it a tad, but I'm not gonna. There we go. So that's on there like so. And we're going to take this and we're just going to line it up, two sides together, and then we're just going to fold it over like so. And we pull it apart. Oh, those two stuck together. I'll just undo that a tad. Try not to do this bit. Try not to get them stuck together. It's not what you want, and it is so sticky. There we go. Right. So pulling them a little bit out, and then we'll just fold it over. Over there. So we got that going down there. So there we go. Like that. So I'm just going to put tape along the inside bit. So I might actually cut this. So it's a little bit neater. So we're going to that. Oh. Cut it off a little bit better than that. Let's use there we go. Stick that down like that. Get my bone folder. There we are. It's done nicely, so we'll just repeat. Cut that a bit straighter. That's about as straight as a very unstraight thing, Jez. Stick that there. There we are. That is that bit. So now I want to stick these bits on. So I'm going to stick that in the middle. In there. I can choose to leave that as is or cover it up. I quite like it, a bit grungy. To be fair, I'm now thinking I could make that middle bit more that colour. Let's put that to one side and decide. So now I'm going to stick that down there. So I'm going to use my collard glue. I'm going to put some on here. I'm going to go all the way around the edge. And then I'm going to get my spreader and do some spreading. So let's stick this down. Thankfully with collard you do get wigglage. Right, taking that off for the moment because there is a slight gap at the top and the bottom, so I want to put a bit of tape across the top and the bottom. So let's take a bit of this off. That off. Would have been better to do this beforehand, but I want to wrap that top, so take a bit of this off side. You can leave collall a little bit length of time. It won't dry out because it does take a while to dry. So, matter of fact, on the instructions it does sort of say leave it for a minute or two. So we're going to be okay. So what I want to do is, let's not do that, Jess. Just bunged it straight down on there, but I think we got away with it. Yeah. So that's the top bit wrapped. Yep. So I'll put a little bit more glue there now on these top and bottoms. There we go. Oh, I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed doing this and how much it's totally taken my mind off things. There we go. Get you on there now. There we go. Yes. Oh, this turned out better than I thought. How fab is that? I love it. Absolutely love it. That's just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I do love the way that's turned out. So on the inside here, I do want to put, I think, a different colour piece of card. Because if I decide to keep that grungy thingy, I need a different colour. So let me just get a different colour bit of card. Right, oh, I think that's a much better. That's a much better one. So let's just cut this out. Oh yeah, sorted. That's much better. Much, much better. Right, we just want to go around the end. Right, so we just want to get all the glue down again. No idea how long I've been because I stopped and started, didn't I? Gone over the end there, didn't want to do that. Move that way. I put far more on that than I did the other, but never mind. So we'll just stick this on there. There we go. That is my cover all prepared. I love it. And then I will stick that on it. Probably might change my mind now that I've made that spine so pretty. I might not I might not do that, but yeah, I am absolutely loving that. So there we go. Call that part 1. Preparing the cover of my next journal. I don't know what I'm going to call it, but there we go. Love it. Hope that's given you some ideas of how to take a nice old book that's maybe got a battered spine and creating it to look like it was meant to be there. Okay, so don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you everybody who has been supporting me, watching old videos, giving me likes and comments, and visiting my Ko-fi and giving me supporting me over there. I really do appreciate it, and thank you for spending what is Saturday evening with me, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that. Okay, bye for now.